Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the MiCorps Cooperative Lakes Monitoring Program training for this year. We're really happy to have you here. We've got a full day planned, as you can see on the slide in front of you, but we're going to walk through some housekeeping items with you first. My name is Jo Lattimore. I am a faculty member in the Department of Fisheries and Wildlife at Michigan State University and the director of the MiCorps program. And we have a full slate of activities for us today. The slide on the screen there has on the lower left, you can see the agenda for today. You are welcome to come and go as you wish. If there are topics you are particularly interested in, we'll make sure we start each section right on time. So you can come and go as you wish throughout the day. If you wish to follow along, have materials like the procedures or data sheets for the different parameters with you, you'll see a link in the upper left-hand corner, micorps.net/lake monitoring/CLMP documents. On that page, you will find downloadable copies of all of the instructions for all the parameters, the data sheets, and lots of other helpful supporting materials. So if you haven't already gotten those documents and want to follow along today, you can find them there. We're using Zoom today, and I know a lot of us are pretty familiar with Zoom after a couple of years of using it a lot. But on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see a few tips about using it well. The audio you should be able to hear now. You can do an audio settings in the lower left if things don't sound quite right to you. You may also feel the need to adjust your volume if something isn't coming through quite right for you. We are going to ask that everyone on the training keep themselves muted and keep their video turned off. We have over 200 people signed up for this training event today. And if people start turning on their cameras or their microphones, that can be pretty distracting, as you might imagine. So if we see people maybe mistakenly turning their cameras on and so forth, we may turn them off for you. We have that control. So try and keep an eye on that. If you want to ask questions, you'll look for the chat icon, and you should find that if you move your mouse near the bottom of the Zoom screen. A number of options will pop up, and one of those says chat. And if you click on that, you can type your questions right into that box, and we'll be keeping an eye on that throughout the trainings today. And after each training session, we will have time for question and answer. So that is there for you. There's also an 800 number. If you're concerned that you might have trouble at some time throughout the day, you might want to jot down this number. It's 800-500-1554. And that's Michigan State University's help desk, and they can help you with any issues you might be having. I see a question in the chat about the recordings. I appreciate that reminder. We are recording today's training, and you will be able to find these recordings all on our lake training page on the MiCorps website. And so right now, the trainings from last year are all posted, the 2021. Give us about a week. Give us about a week to get all the recordings processed and posted and up on the website. Then they'll be there. So you can go back and watch them again, or if you have to step away, or if you want to share them with other volunteers on your lake, that information will be there. And I'm going to ask Eric if he could add the link for the procedures and data forms, because the color on that slide looks like it might be kind of hard to see. So we'll get that into the chat. Yeah, and you can't click on it. It's just an image of the link. It's not a hyperlink in Zoom. Zoom isn't quite that fancy yet. So thanks for pointing that out. All right, well, I'm going to quickly introduce my training colleagues here today. As I already mentioned, I'm Jo Lattimore with MSU, and I'm joined today by Eric Elgin with MSU Extension. Eric is our Lakes Program Manager for the MiCorps program, and he will be offering some of the training today, as we all will. We're also joined by Dr. Paul Steen from the Huron River Watershed Council. Paul is our data guru for the CLMP program. He works hard on compiling all the data every year and creating those annual reports that everyone gets about their lakes. among a lot of other roles, including being our streams program manager. So if you have any interest in stream monitoring through MiCorps or our stream cleanup program, Paul's your guy for that. And then finally, I want to introduce Tamara Lipsey. Tamara Lipsey is with the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy. She is our Eagle liaison and lead for MiCorps, and she's going to kick us off this morning with a welcome to the CLMP. So Tamara, if you're ready, I'm going to hand the stage over to you.
Sounds good. All right, can everybody see that first slide?
Looks good, Tamara.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining us on this morning. And thank you so much for participating in our 2022 online Cooperative Lakes Monitoring Program training workshop. You might hear many of us refer to this program as CLMP. For you new people, that when we say that, that's what we're referring to, is our Cooperative Lakes Monitoring Program. For some of you, this might be your first CLMP training. For others, it might be you've taken several and this is just the refresher you take every year. Either way, we're really happy you joined us. As Joe noted, this workshop is being recorded, so you can share it with your friends and watch it again and again and refer back to it later in the summer. So as Joe mentioned, my name is Tamara Lipsey and I work for the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy, also known as Eagle. I've worked here for 19 years and have had several experiences measuring water quality throughout the state in our lakes, rivers, and streams. And I'm also the department lead for this MiCorps program, which includes CLMP. And although I'm relatively new in this position, I did participate in the CLMP training last year, so you may have seen me then. I also had the great opportunity to meet many of you last week on Friday and Saturday at the Michigan Lakes and Stream Conference, which was held at Crystal Mountain. So it's good to see you all again if you saw me then. So I'll be presenting the DO and temperature meter monitoring after lunch at 1 o'clock today. But I also have the privilege of welcoming you. I want to start with explaining how the CLMP program fits within the larger MiCorps program. There are 3 programs underneath that umbrella of Michigan Clean Water Corps. One is the CLMP training and program that you're here today for. Another is the Volunteer Stream Cleanup Program, which is a grant program where we give grants to municipalities to have stream trash cleanups. And then we have a volunteer stream monitoring program, which there are groups that you can join that go out and monitor our streams and rivers in the state. MiCorps is funded through Eagle by State of Michigan general funds. And we also receive some funds for the cleanup program through the special water quality license plates that you can buy. We have a 5-year contract with MSU Extension. And as Joe mentioned, Joe and Eric from MSU Extension are on our team, as well as 3 people from the remote sensing GIS lab. Dr. Aaron Bunting, Dylan Hoffner, and Robert Goodwin. And then Michigan State University has 2 subcontracts with the Huron River Watershed Council, where Paul fits in, and then Michigan Lakes and Streams is another partner. So it takes a lot of people to run our program and a lot of teamwork, and it's a great team to be on. Joe already introduced Eric and Paul and myself. Melissa DeSimone, Mike Gallagher, and Jean Roth are all from Michigan Lakes and Streams Association. Melissa is the executive director, and she helps in promoting MiCorps and gives us good input into the program. Mike is the MLSA current treasurer. He was a past president, and he is the CLMP program voice for volunteers. And then last but not least is Jean, who's our CLMP administrator. She is essentially your go-to person for many of your CLMP questions. She's also our logistics queen. She sends you your bottles that you need, your data sheets that you need, and most of your equipment that you need for the CLMP sampling. And I just want to take a minute and thank the team for all the hard work you do. You guys are fantastic to work with, and I feel very lucky. So the focus of the Cooperative Lakes Monitoring Program is to educate volunteers about water quality. Volunteers and citizen scientists, we want to make sure you know as much about your lake as you can, so it can help you make decisions on what management actions happen on your lake, and can talk with other neighbors on your lake about water quality. We also want to make sure we collect high quality data that can be used by many, and we want to establish a volunteer network for you all so that you can talk to each other, get advice from each other, ask questions for each other. Nobody but a riparian owner has better insight on their lakes and streams. For education and training, we focus on making sure everybody uses the same method for when they do the sampling. As Joe mentioned, we have procedures and a manual that's available online. We provide data sheets and then online data reporting so that everybody is reporting the same data. We have the spring training, of course, and then we have a fall conference for all MiCorps volunteers, both stream and lakes, where you can get more education about lakes and stream ecology. We also provide a technical assistance. All of the bottles and preservatives are provided by us. The samples are analyzed at our Eagle State Lab. We make sure we do a quality assurance of all the samples that are turned in, make sure they were sampled on the right dates, that the preservatives were put on, that the correct procedures were used. And then we also do have DO meters you can rent out, and we provide other sampling equipment that you will need. And most importantly, we're here to answer questions throughout the year. Whenever you have a question, there is a contacts webpage on our website, and you're welcome to contact any of us at any time. We're really proud that the CLMP program is over 40 years old. It's the second oldest volunteer monitoring program in the country. We have an online database that is open to the public and anybody can use it. It's reliable data and it is used by many. This is an image of what our online database exchange looks like. It can be reached at the data exchange button at the top, and then you can search for data by lakes or streams, and then narrow your search by county or lake name. As I said, it's open to the public, and the public does use it. Our biologists here at Eagle use it to look up information for calls that we might get from citizens or realtors or consultants who are doing work on lakes. And our permitting staff here also use the data when making permit decisions. These are all of the lakes that have been sampled in Michigan with the CLMP program at least once from 1974 through 2019. And you can see there's a really wide spread of all the sites that have been sampled. In 2021, we had almost 200 lakes participating in the program. These are the ones that participated and turned in data for each of these data types that you can participate in. Some of these data types are for anyone to do, and some are for more seasoned volunteers that have been doing this at least a year. And you will be able to hear more information about each of these parameters today. For 2022 in particular, side-by-side visits are returning. Some of you might know what those are, but some are new. That's when I go out with 10 randomly selected volunteers to do sampling with you. I get to meet you, see your lake, and you can have the ability to ask any questions you have of me, and we'll both take our samples together. In addition, last year we did not have our aquatic plant mapping program because that includes a visit from one of our staff to you and your lake so that we can teach you plant identification and go out with you on your lake. But that is returning this year. So we're really happy about both of these things returning. Here's the agenda again today. There's one Zoom link for the entire day. As Joe said, you can come and go as you wish. We will start at the designated time for each training session. And we hope you join us throughout the day, but you can also tell a friend. The sign up deadline is at the end of the day today. For any of the parameters that are left open, but we're happy to have people watch the recordings and consider joining us next year. We're also available on social media through Facebook and Twitter. We usually post reminders about the trainings, other reminders, interesting articles you might be interested in. We do cross postings with other entities that post things about our natural resources that we think you'll be interested in. So check that out. And then before we move on to the first part of our training, I want to take a minute and thank all of you again who are here tuning in today. This is a citizen science program. We train you to be the scientists and go out and collect the data. And because of this program and your participation, we get to a lot of lakes that we wouldn't, as the state of Michigan, be able to collect data on. Some of those lakes are private. And in addition, we have, 10,000 plus lakes in the state, and we just can't get to them all. So we so appreciate you participating in this program. And that is all I have. Stop sharing my screen.
Thanks, Tamara. We had one question come in as we move over to our next session. I'll pose that to you and you can answer, or someone else on the panel. And the question is, does the stream monitoring program work the same way? Where can participants sign up for stream monitoring?
That's a great question, and thank you for asking that. No, the stream monitoring program does not work the same way. We don't train all the volunteers ourselves. We train a trainer, and those trainers are usually local watershed groups. So the Huron River Watershed Council is one of those groups. Tip of the Mint has several different groups that go out and do sampling. So we train an entity, usually a conservation district or a watershed group. We have a lead volunteer that we train there, and then you can join that group and do sampling with that group, and they will train you.
Thanks, Tamara. So if somebody wanted to find their local group to connect with, they could reach out to us or look at our website and find that information. We could help connect them, right?
Correct. Yep.
Excellent. Great. Thank you.